Miss Dior range is incredibly successful, but also it's subjected to constant reformulations, so some may be confused with a huge number of Miss Dior flankers. Therefore, I thought it might be helpful to review and make an in-depth comparison of all currently available flankers. I will rate their scent and performance. I'll let you know what are the differences, and in the end, I will rank them and tell you my favorites. So hello everyone, I'm Miri and welcome back. And here on this channel, we talk in depth about fragrances. And that's why let's start with the inspiration of Miss Dior first. Miss Dior dates to 1947 after the debut of Christian Dior's fashion line. The perfume was named after the nickname of Christian Dior's sister, Catherine Dior, and she was such an inspiring, resilient woman. She was a French resistance fighter during World War II, a concentration camp survivor, and also a cultivator of rose gardens, so no wonder almost all Miss Dior flankers include a rose accord. The brand's famed houndstooth print is etched on all bottles, and all of them have a bow with pointier edge on one side, and those edges are reminiscent of poignard, a long, lightweight thrusting knife historically worn by the upper class. Miss Dior flakons are a truly beautiful additions to any vanity. But what about their scent? First, I'll review Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming that came out in 2016. And even though many say this is discontinued or it's getting discontinued, it's still available on Dior's website, and the batch on my bottle is from 2023, so it's still in production, or at least it was until last year. So that is the reason why I decided to include it in this fragrance range review, because you can still find it online. The ad for this fragrance highlights Natalie Portman's sensual feminine characteristics, such as her legs, her smile, and also her playfulness in the scene where she's playing with her necklace. So Absolutely Blooming should be equally feminine and playful fragrance. At the initial spray, you got a blast of peppery spiciness, giving sparkling, fizzy, tart, almost a wine-like spin to red fruits, and mostly you get a lot of raspberry. So red fruits in Absolutely Blooming are a bit tangy and spicy because of fizzy pink pepper, and they smell similar to the aroma of raspberry sorbet in a cocktail with some underlying soapiness coming from musk, which surprised me because based on the reviews, I expected very jammy raspberries with sugary cotton candy-like sweetness, but what I get instead are tart, fizzy berries with soapy musk, and that's when I noticed the difference in the juice color. Some on Fragrantica commented that there are two batches of Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming. The one with pink juice will give you that cotton candy, jammy, fruity concoction in the opening Absolutely Blooming is known for, while the reformulated version with orangier juice has more pronounced pepper, tart, and soapy qualities. That soapier, peppery opening mellows down after 10 minutes, and the scent gets on jammy, fruity rose track you get in the batch with pink juice as well. But keep in mind that fruits in the orangier batch are never as sweet and as dominant as they are in the batch with pinky juice. So, in the dry down, rose smells very powdery smooth, raspberry becomes even sweeter and jammier, peonies add this freshness, effervescent quality, while musk from the base envelopes the entire composition in a soapy, clean, airy but fluffy powdery dimension, giving a perfumey scent to this fragrance. It smells like rose powder coated with a spoon of berry jam and then mixed and blended with a bath soap bar. So Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming dries down to a powdery, soapy, musky rose with jammy fruits and fresh peonies. Absolutely Blooming isn't overly blooming with florals. It's either sweeter and fruitier in the pink batch, either muskier and soapier in my orangier batch, while florals always support decomposition, evoking pink, frilly, romantic scent that feels more casual because it's very lively, it's happy, and it has this bubbly personality. That's why I wouldn't wear Absolutely Blooming to interviews or some serious occasions such as business meetings, but it would be perfect for spring and fall and more casual, relaxed events, and for all those who like sweet berry fragrances or those who enjoy Giorgio Armani C. I get about 6 to 7 hours of longevity with soft to moderate projection, so if you would like a raspberry musky take on a rose, check out Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming while it's still available, and I would rate it with 7.75 out of 10. Eau de Toilette came out in 2019 and it has elongated squarish bottle with metallic bow and a silver rectangle inside the label. The ad was beautiful, starring Natalie Portman swirling in the most gorgeous dress because Miss Dior Eau de Toilette should provide you with the sensation of rose petals in the breeze and overall with a breath of spring swirling in the air. How this Miss Dior Eau de Toilette version smells? Well, at the initial spray you get bright, citrusy, fresh, invigorating scent of citruses with a touch of sweetness. So what you can notice is this sparkling red blood orange and mandarin aroma quickly followed by essential rose in the background, adding a bit of delicate sweetness to zesty freshness of the citruses. The opening smells like a melange of sugared orange juice and a few rose petals, but that initial burst of fizzy citruses quickly dries down, overpowered with a sensual rose and underlying earthy patchouli, even though citrusy freshness never completely disappears. Citruses are always there to balance floral and earthy, woody aromas, bringing bright spring-like vibe to the scent. So in the heart, slightly sweet, powdery rose is entwined with green, soapy, jasmine-like nuances and a touch of spice, probably coming from lily of the valley, while patchouli embraces those floral notes and hints of citruses from the opening into a gorgeous sheep fragrance, giving depth and a more vibrant, crisp, earthy, woody edge to the bright citrusy rose concoction. And as Miss Dior Eau de Toilette dries down, patchouli becomes even more prominent, but it's always softened with powdery rose aroma and brightened with a nudge of citruses, giving dewy effect to roses. So I would describe the scent of Miss Dior Eau de Toilette in the dry down as the scent of damp roses in springtime garden in full bloom. Citruses add sparkling, watery brightness, rose adds a bit of sweetness and slight powderiness, while patchouli grounds everything with sweetened, woody, earthy facets. Miss Dior Eau de Toilette truly embodies the essence of springtime rose garden because it gives you rose scent with a sparkling citrusy top and a patchouli dry down, so you get a mix of fresh, dewy florals and darker, soily texture of the garden. It's very feminine, it's very romantic, and even though it's not overly complicated scent, it's suitable for any age, for everyday use, and even for special occasions, and it just smells pretty. Also, patchouli is quite classy, it's strong, but it's not pungent. It's a patchouli in a similar vein to Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle I really like. So if you like that fragrance, I'm sure you will like Miss Dior Eau de Toilette as well, because both have sweet orangey top and patchouli base. But Miss Dior Eau de Toilette has a stronger rose and this slightly wet, humid effect compared to Coco Mademoiselle that is woodier and a bit sweeter in my opinion. I get about 5 hours of longevity with pretty strong projection and sillage at first, like 2-3 hours, and then it turns softer as the scent dries down. And that's why I would rate Eau de Toilette with 7.5 out of 10. This is a very pretty, feminine, citrusy, cheap floral scent that just smells classy. Next up is Rose & Rose's launch in 2020. It was created with an idea to leave a trail embodying a floral abundance of fields of roses blooming in May in grass. That's why in the ad, Natalie Portman wears a beautiful pink dress adorned with handmade flowers that looks stunning because rose petals in this fragrance were also hand-picked from the Dior gardens in grass. The bottle is very pretty with elongated flaken adorned with silver bow and engraved with houndstooth print on both sides, while the juice has a soft romantic pink hue. But how it smells! At the first spray or roll, the fragrance starts with a strong, lush rose, refreshed by citruses, but you could also smell green, slightly bitter aromatic facets of geranium. Herbally green bitter geranium should give a crisp edge to rose and to citruses, making it smell more multifaceted, recreating the scent of the entire rose, petals and rose stems and leaves, and it does that. But on my skin, the scent turns a bit sharper, a bit more than I would like to. Thankfully, mandarin gives a honeyed, citrusy quality to the rose, and bergamot adds dewy, sparkling, transparent essence, toning down sharp geranium. Overall, citruses give brightness and vibrant feel to rich roses, keeping them from being too sweet or too heavy. So, the opening does smell like you're in the middle of blooming rose garden, where you can smell citrusy dew sliding on lush rose petals, accompanied with the zest of green rose stems and leaves. Fresh, green, dewy rose from the opening very soon loses its starring role with strong musk coming out, and the rest of the dry down is mainly a musky rose combination. There's a touch of greenness in the base, probably coming from patchouli. I know it's not listed on Fragrantica, but it's mentioned on Dior's website. So musk here is very powdery but also quite soapy and laundry-like, so at times it might even smell a bit synthetic, but mostly it's a pleasant powdery soapy musk with a touch of green patchouli, and thus rose in the dry down isn't a fresh garden-like rose. No, it's powdery, it's soapy, so the dry down smells like rose-scented decorative soaps. It's quite pleasant, it's pretty, it's feminine with citrusy green rose at the top and then musky soapy rose dry down. Rose and Roses would be best for spring and summer, and I think that its fresh, vibrant floral profile will fit daytime occasions more, such as garden parties or brunch dates. It's not overly complex scent, but it's quite lovely, and it will be a safe choice, but only for rose lovers. Since this is an eau de toilette concentration, it doesn't last very long and it doesn't project far. I get about 4 hours of longevity on my skin with moderate projection for the first half an hour of wear, and then the scent sits very closely to the skin. So this Miss Dior has the worst performance on my skin, and therefore I would rate it with 6 out of 10. But if you like rose and musk in fragrances and you enjoy Narciso Rodriguez for her floor musk, but you would like something lighter, softer and soapier, I think Miss Dior Rose and Roses will be right up your alley. And then in 2021, Dior launched another Miss Dior Eau de Parfum, now in wider bottle with a black rectangle inside the label, and instead of the metallic bow, now the flaken is adorned with an exquisite fabric bow woven in France with more than 340 threads. It's multifaceted with twinkling threads in pink, gold and blue, reflecting vivid colors of the flowers in the garden. And that's why in the ad, Natalie Portman drives a truck full of flowers and runs through a meadow. So the ad and the threads interwoven in the bow insinuate that this will be a very floral perfume, and it is. Here multiple flowers such as peony, rose, iris, lily of the valley are center of the show, and that's why from the initial spray you got a strong floral aroma. And that is so different compared to the route usually designer perfumes take. Usually designer fragrances open with fruity or citrusy notes and then they evolve into a floral heart. But here Miss Dior Eau de Parfum opens with a trio of flowers and then in the heart some fruity facets come out, giving a bit of juiciness and sweetness to floral aromas. And I like that slight deviation in the perfume development. So initially you got slightly green, bittersweet lily of the valley with hints of lemon and this delicate rosy aroma from peony, while iris wraps all those floral notes in a powdery embrace. And there is a bit of vanilla underneath, slightly sweetening the scent. So this smells exactly as the advertising campaign shows. Imagine lying in a field of flowers and the breeze comes in and it brings the scent of different flowers. The strong floral opening corresponds with Catherine Dior's hobby of cultivating rose gardens, but also poignant knife-inspired bow because the top notes have the same pungent floral quality. So if you don't like flowers, I think this fragrance might be a bit challenging for you. Miss Dior Eau de Parfum fits the description as a floral bouquet centered around the Centifolia rose with honeyed, slightly spicy peppery facets, but iris still adds soft powderiness to the scent. I don't smell actual realistic scent of juicy apricot or peach, but there is a vague peachy flavor adding a bit of freshness, juiciness, playfulness, warmth and creamy texture to floral notes. And from this point on, Miss Dior Eau de Parfum is quite linear with base notes providing vanilla sweetness and muskiness that reminds me of the scent of baby wipes, enhancing gentle, delicate, sweet, powdery florals. It smells like you used vanilla baby lotion and then, while your hands still smell of vanilla and powder, you start arranging iris rose peony bouquet in the vase. This is incredibly delicate, powdery, creamy, musky, slightly peachy rose. It's an olfactory embodiment of light pastel colors. It does smell baby pink, just like the color of the juice, and it has a comforting effect because it smells familiar, it smells safe. And many say this isn't a groundbreaking or special perfume, but it's so incredibly pretty, it's so likable, and it grew on me with time because it's versatile, it's an easy reach perfume appropriate for almost every occasion, even as a wedding scent. And because it's so likable, it's so inoffensive, it will get you compliments. And also this isn't oily based perfume, so it won't stain clothes. I get about 6 hours of longevity with moderate projection, but after 4th hour mark, Miss Dior Eau de Parfum becomes very soft and more intimate. If you like soft, powdery, floral vanilla fragrances, and if you just want to smell pretty, girly, Miss Dior Eau de Parfum will be a perfume for you. It has timelessly classy chic vibe, and I would rate it with 7.5 out of 10. Last year in 2023, Miss Dior got another reformulated version, this time of Blooming Bouquet Eau de Toilette. I have just a little sample of this new version, and I don't really remember how previous Blooming Bouquet from 2014 smelled because Miss Dior had so many flankers, and before starting this channel, well, I didn't see the use of having them all, so I can't compare the previous with this new version. The new Blooming Bouquet, just like the Eau de Parfum, gives a mille-fiori effect on the bow of multicolored interwoven threads representing a bouquet of 1,000 colored flowers, and accordingly the ad takes you on a huge meadow filled with different flowers, featuring Natalie Portman as she enjoys a light breeze and aromas of blooming flowers from the bouquet in her hands. How the new blooming bouquet smells? Well, the opening is pleasantly citrusy, immediately giving some radiant freshness to the scent, but also it's highlighting sweet peas that have like slightly orangey and green facets. It's incredibly beautiful, airy, floral scent with this citrusy freshness that never smells too citric or too aggressive. No, this is the scent of freshly cut, pastel-colored sweet peas drizzled with the drops of bergamot orangey juice. It smells very clean, very fresh, very airy, floral, and only slightly sweet, but it's incredibly pretty scent. And then 3-4 minutes after the opening, peonies and rose overpower fresh sweet peas from the opening, but the scent continues to have a certain freshness, lightness, airiness for another at least hour of the wear. Peonies bring this light rosy aroma with a hint of citruses and a touch of sweet fruits somewhere in the distance, while roses smell very delicate and tender. So you don't get the scent of rich, sensual, red, lush roses, but rather a scent of soft, silky, pink rose petals that, together with peonies and sweet peas, create an image of floral bouquet. So if you're not a fan of roses, don't be afraid, because Blooming Bouquet smells like its name, like a bouquet of blossoming flowers with peonies and roses being the strongest floral notes. From the initial spray, you could notice very clean muskiness in the background, but in the dry down, especially after an hour, clean smelling soft musk becomes more and more pronounced until it completely interlaces its soft, cottony-like nuances with floral notes. So the dry down of Blooming Bouquet smells like a freshly plucked bouquet of blooming flowers caressed by a light breeze that carries pink peony and rose petals from the bouquet as they flutter in the air until they fall on a white, musky, clean, cottony smelling fabric. This is completely enchanting floral scent in my opinion. It gives you a tender, cottony, floral embrace of blossomed flowers, and it smells clean. It smells delicate. It smells pure and only subtly sweet. Yes, it's not innovative, it's not groundbreaking floral scent, but it has a very easily recognizable DNA. It would be best for spring and summer because of its delicate, light, airy nature that wouldn't withstand colder temperatures. I love how natural it smells without any synthetic or pungent alcohol openings. It projects softly to moderate for about 2 hours, and then it sits very close to the skin for like another 3 hours, but on close it lasts a bit longer. If you like Zara's Nude Bouquet or Parfums de Mali de Lina La Rosée, you will love Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. On Dior website it says that this perfume is an antidote to dreariness, and yes, that is so true. I tested this fragrance for the first time on a very rainy, blurry day, and this immediately made me smile. So I'm absolutely enchanted by this fragrance, and I would rate it with 7.75 out of 10 for its scent and performance. And the last flanker is Miss Dior Parfum, that was highly anticipated perfume this year because the news behind this fragrance was Maison Francis Kurkdjian. In the ad, it says that this fragrance was inspired by Provençal nights full of fireflies where green jasmine serves as a counterpoint to the melody of the night and earth. Natalie Portman vividly portrays boldness and joyful essence of the Miss Dior Parfum, running along the shoreline, seductively dancing on the table and laughing with pure joy. Unlike other Miss Dior's that feature rose accord, Miss Dior Parfum showcases jasmine to recreate olfactory sensation of a nighttime stroll through a moss-covered forest filled with juicy fruits and wildflowers. And while other flankers come in 100 ml bottles, this new parfum comes only in 80 ml bottle with houndstooth print etched on all sides with a poignant fabric bow made only from silver threads. It looks just stunning. But equally stunning is the opening because juicy fruits take center stage, giving a juicy, vibrant, cheerful, energetic start. Luckily, strawberry here doesn't smell like a teenager body mist type of scent. Instead, it has this soft tartness, probably coming from citrusy mandarin that gives a bit of zest to the scent. Apricot and peach gives some sweetness, but there is also a soft trail of powderiness and a touch of jasmine in the background, smoothing the fruits and giving them almost like a fruity cotton candy-like vibe. Imagine walking through a sunlit orchard in full bloom and eating sugared fruits, and that scent of sweet fruits is mixed with some florals in the background. Fresh but sweet, energetic, fruity vibe of the opening tones down with the arrival of jasmine, patchouli, and woody notes, but fruits linger throughout the length of this fragrance, but now they lose center stage they had in the opening. Jasmine here doesn't smell indolic or creamy. It has this sweet, heady floral dimension that gives brightness to rich, darker, woody, earthy accords coming from the base notes, while strawberries give some whimsical, carefree, fruity sweetness, making the scent a bit more playful. Luckily, the patchouli used in Miss Dior Parfum reminds me of patchouli used in Chanel's Coco Mademoiselle, and I like that type of beautiful, sparkling, elegant patchouli because it doesn't smell dirty or dampy. No, it has this refined, sophisticated, darker, woody, earthy smell. So the heart smells like you continued to walk from the blooming orchard into a vast field of flowers and wild strawberries where floral and fruity aroma intertwines with botanical, earthy and woody scents of the nearby forest. And in the base, woody and earthy tones of patchouli give a deep, dark finish, evoking an image of forest floor carpeted with moss adorned with slightly fruity floral echoes still lingering in the air, but base notes elegantly ground the whole composition, giving it longevity, of course, but also voluptuous and curvier character to playful fruits and bright floral aromas. Miss Dior Parfum is a significant departure from delicate, girly, pinkish, rosy type of Miss Dior's we had the chance to experience in the last few years, and also a comeback of sheep-based Miss Dior's that were discontinued in the past. So if you're still mourning over the loss of discontinued Miss Dior's from the past that had a strong patchouli accord, you will love this new flanker, especially if you like fruit-chuli scent profile of Yves Saint Laurent Mon Paris, but this one has stronger, woodier accords. This is a perfect all year round fragrance. I get about 7 hours of moderate projection, so no issues with the performance. What can I say? This is a love for me. It smells stunning, and I would rate its scent profile and performance with 8 out of 10. If these in-depth reviews were descriptive and helpful so far, then boop the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because that helps this video to spread to more people. And now let's compare them in short. Absolutely Blooming from 2016 is a beautiful, fruity, musky rose fragrance. So if you like raspberry, musk, and rose, or the scent profile of Giorgio Armani, see, this is something you will completely love and enjoy. It's perfect scent for spring and summer, and it has quite a bit of sweetness, so many will enjoy it. Next up is Miss Dior Eau de Toilette, a lovely, fresh, citrusy rose sheep fragrance. Sheep meaning it has a patchouli dry down, giving some depth to the scent. So if you like citruses, rose, and patchouli, if you like Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel, I'm sure you will like the scent profile of Miss Dior Eau de Toilette as well, that truly embodies the essence of spring. Then in 2020 came out Rose and Roses, that is a very soapy, musky rose scent instead of being a real garden rose type of perfume. Therefore, if you like musk, if you like soapy notes, and of course if you like rose, Rose and Roses will suit you the best, especially if Narciso Rodriguez for her Flow Musk is your go-to fragrance. But Rose and Roses is less powdery and more soapy and best for warmer months. Miss Dior Eau de Parfum came out a year later, giving powdery vanilla rose fragrance. So Eau de Parfum will be a love for all those who love powdery vanilla floral perfumes, and if you love Lancome's Idole minus pear fruitiness with more vanilla, with more powdery notes, then Miss Dior Eau de Parfum will be right up your alley, especially because it can be worn in spring, summer and fall, not so much in winter because it lacks a bit of heaviness and denseness, but it comes close to being a good candidate for a signature scent. Last year, Dior reformulated Blooming Bouquet that is compared to all the previous Miss Dior's I mentioned, centered around light, airy, delicate peony accord with the addition of musk and rose. So if you like musky, light, airy florals and you enjoy the Lina La Rosée by Parfums de Mali, this fragrance will blow you away. It's ideal for spring and summer, and in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. It's a safe blend buy for all those who love light floral accords and delicate feminine perfumes. And finally, in 2024, this year, Miss Dior family got another member, and that is Miss Dior Parfum. This is a gorgeous, fruity, woody jasmine fragrance without any rose all previous versions had before. So this will suit those who loved discontinued sheep and fruitfully like previous Miss Dior versions. So if you like strawberry, if you like woody notes, if you like patchouli and jasmine, you will enjoy Miss Dior Parfum. And if you're looking for a signature scent perfume you could wear regardless of the season, regardless of the time of the day, then yes, Miss Dior Parfum will be the right choice. I hope this video will help you a bit to know which ones might be the best for you. And now here's a quick recap. If you're more into fruity perfumes, check out either Absolutely Blooming, either Miss Dior Parfum. This one has raspberry, this one has strawberry, but Absolutely Blooming is a muskier rose scent, while Miss Dior Parfum is woodier jasmine perfume. So which one will be the best for you depends on your personal preference. But if you don't like fruity perfumes and you love rose fragrances, then you can pick between Miss Dior Eau de Toilette and Miss Dior Rose and Roses. Eau de Toilette has more citruses and a patchouli base, while Rose and Roses is muskier and soapier, so it smells very clean. And if you like florals in general, but not so much rose-dominant perfumes, then two I would recommend you from this range are Miss Dior Eau de Parfum and Blooming Bouquet Eau de Toilette. Miss Dior Eau de Parfum features various florals. It has iris, peony, lily of the valley, and rose, giving an impression of a beautiful floral bouquet sweetened with powdery vanilla, while on the other side, Blooming Bouquet Eau de Toilette is a much fresher, peony-centered fragrance with a beautiful, clean, fresh, musky dry down. And now here's how I would rate them based on their scent profile and performance. On the fourth place with 6 out of 10 is Miss Dior Rose and Roses, and this is a clean, soapy smelling rose, but it has quite a poor performance on my skin. And these two fragrances deserve third spot with 7.5 out of 10, and those are Miss Dior Eau de Parfum and Miss Dior Eau de Toilette. Eau de Toilette is a fresh, citrusy, patchouli-infused scent of a blooming rose garden, while Miss Dior Eau de Parfum is a soft, pastel-colored floral bouquet wrapped in powdery vanilla embrace. On the second place are two fragrances, and those are Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming and Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. Absolutely Blooming is a very pretty raspberry musky rose that is so girly, it's so fun, it's so lovely, while Blooming Bouquet is extremely lovely, delicate, fresh, musky peony perfume. And the first place with 8 out of 10 deserves Miss Dior, that stole my heart away, and that is Miss Dior Parfum. And this is a gorgeous strawberry flavored jasmine enveloped in darker, woodier, earthier embrace. And this is what I think, but what do you think? Share your favorites in the comments. Which one lasts the longest on your skin? What do you like or dislike about them? Because everything you write in the comments will be very helpful for all those watching this video and trying to find out which Miss Dior flanker will suit them the best. And if you want to watch another detailed range review just like this one, then you should check out this video next. I will see you there. Bye!